From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Breaking tonight, people sent scrambling when shots are fired after a funeral. 3 people are wounded. The gunman is still out there. Mara.
Sources telling us 3 MSU football players are about to be arraigned on criminal sexual conduct charges.
All right, Mara, also robbed at the ATM in broad daylight. Tonight, the hunt is on for an armed man who forced at least 2 people to give up their cash. Good to have you with us tonight. The 2 robberies happened just a few hours apart.
Both victims were robbed at 2 different banks on Detroit's west side. Priya Mann is live with the video police want you to see. Priya, he apparently is an early riser.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. That first victim was robbed at this ATM in broad daylight, 9:30 in the morning. The victim was walking back to his vehicle, which was parked at the curb. The gunman approaches. In the second robbery, that victim never saw him coming.
2 armed robberies, 12 hours apart, all caught on camera. This man was robbed seconds after withdrawing money from an ATM. This woman never touched her cash. The gunman took it directly from the machine.
It's depressing, for starters, but I'm not scared.
Both robberies happened just over a week ago on the west side. The first at 9:30 Sunday morning at a Comerica Bank on Myers near McNichols.
To want to rob somebody in broad daylight at gunpoint, especially these days, because you never know who's packing as well.
The victim was forced at gunpoint to hand the cash over.
And that's wrong. I work hard for my money, and that he should go find a job, period.
The second robbery happened just 3.5 miles away around 9:30 Sunday evening at a Bank of America on West 8 Mile and Livernois.
A lot of folks doing a lot of crazy stuff these days, so I just kind of keep my eyes open.
This time, a woman was withdrawing money when the gunman walked up from behind her vehicle. He took the money directly from the ATM and walked away.
Every place you go, you're on camera, and the fact that people don't care, wow.
Now let's take another look at the man police are looking for. This robber is described as a black male in his 40s, about 5'10" to 6 feet tall. He was wearing a fisherman hat, striped shirt, and dark colored shorts. In the second incident, he was wearing a light colored tank top and shorts. Anyone with information asked to call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. Reporting live from the west side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Now to breaking news from Detroit's west side, where 3 people were shot at a gathering after a funeral. The Nightcam's Tim Pamplin is on the scene where people were sent scrambling.
We're at Belton and Lauder, that's Detroit's far west side, Greenfield, Timon, right on the Dearborn border with Detroit. The repast was taking place down here. You see the tent set up. The funeral was earlier today for the young lady who passed away. About 150 to 200 people were out here celebrating her life when gunfire erupted again. 3 people have been shot. You see the tire marks here. Multiple shooters. Police have got their work cut out here trying to figure out who exactly it was doing the shooting and how what was supposed to be a reflective time turned into carnage. Again, 3 people shot on Detroit's west side. We're awaiting a condition. That's the scene right now on Belton Street with the Nightcam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim. The university followed the rules. That's the conclusion tonight after an independent investigation into MSU's actions after a student claims she was raped by 3 of the university's football players. Tonight, the Ingham County prosecutor says those 3 players will be charged with sexual assault. Mara McDonald on campus with more.
We are anticipating that all 3 of those football players will be arraigned tomorrow morning after a 4-month-long investigation.
We, the board, state that President Simon, Athletic Director Hollis, and Coach D'Antonio have the full support of this board.
Considering the massive drama swirling around MSU athletics, that is quite a statement. The university's Board of Trustees was briefed on the ongoing legal situation unfolding around 3 MSU football players, 2 from Detroit, 1 from out of state, who are accused of raping a female student on campus back in January. In addition to the criminal investigation, the university hired the Jones Day law firm to conduct an independent review of how the university responded to the accusations. That report was made public late today.
Coach D'Antonio and his team, particularly Coach D'Antonio, handled this in the utmost manner with integrity and with swiftness.
The gist of that report says the university acted appropriately, but the report says because staffer Curtis Blackwell, who has since been fired from the football program, refused to be interviewed, will only say it does strongly suggest that he violated school policy by not informing any of the higher-ups in his department that a sexual assault accusation had been made against multiple players. Students say that report and the investigation into what happened had best be thorough for everybody's peace of mind.
You want to make sure that somebody steps in and makes it right, and to show other people that that attitude will not be tolerated. You're not going to step aside and kind of let it happen, let somebody's status kind of step over somebody's safety.
Something else to consider here, a fourth MSU football player has already been dismissed from the team in a separate incident where he is accused of raping a woman in Meridian Township. We are on the campus of MSU. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Mara. New tonight, Detroit police have released new video and audio of the man who stole 2 guns after an off-duty officer was shot last night. The officer was injured during an attempted robbery outside a liquor store near Gratiot and Shane. He was able to return fire, killing the suspect. As both men lay wounded on the ground, a third man called 911, picked up both guns involved, and took off in a black late-model Chevy Impala.
Man, this man has been shot out here. Another man laying in the parking lot shot. I ain't gonna leave these brothers out here like that. I'm not gonna do that.
Anyone with information on who that person is asked to call Detroit police. The officer remains in the hospital tonight, where we're told his condition is improving.
A contractor is facing federal charges of leaking classified information to an online newspaper. The Justice Department says 25-year-old Reality Winner had top secret clearance and removed a classified document from her employer, and that document was an NSA report detailing a Russian cyber attack on U.S. voting software before the presidential election. Winner is accused of emailing it to The Intercept, which is an online newspaper. She was arrested over the weekend in Georgia, and investigators say she has admitted to the leak. U.S. intelligence officials are telling NBC News that British authorities missed the warning signs before this weekend's terror attack.
One of the 3 suspects was already a known ISIS supporter and even featured in a documentary about Islamic extremists. British police admit they knew about him, but say there are thousands of other people who they would also consider subjects of interest. And there are reports that same attacker may have been radicalized by an imam from Dearborn. Neighbors say the terrorist watched YouTube videos featuring Sheikh Ahmad Musa Jibril. Jibril is considered a favorite imam of ISIS fighters. He has been in and out of a Michigan prison serving time for fraud.
Well, this is the face of the former employee who went on a shooting rampage inside an Orlando factory. That's John Newman, fired by the company back in April. He returned today, killing 5 people before taking his own life. The victims ranged in age from 44 to 69 years of age. General Motors shareholders are going to meet tomorrow to vote on a proposal that would split the automaker's shares into 2 classes. One class would pay dividends on traditional business, the other on earnings. It's a proposal suggested by billionaire investor David Einhorn and his firm Greenlight Capital. 2 credit rating agencies have warned against the idea. We'll see what shareholders say tomorrow.
Well, if the jeans didn't give it away, perhaps this funny walk did. A thief tries to stuff his pants with bottles of oil. You won't believe how many he stuffed down there.
Also, some argue the customer's always right, but in this case, a hungry customer crosses the line. What had her throwing punches at a McDonald's employee? Hey there, Ben.
Devin, despite the sunshine that we saw at the tail end of today, the clouds will be back in the morning, and that means another cool one, 50s and 60s. We'll see when the warm-up finally kicks in.
First, she's the wife of a heavily scrutinized quarterback and now the mother of twins. Candid conversation with Kelly Stafford next.
Fresh.
Up until now, their toughest jobs have been being the Lions' starting quarterback and being the wife of a professional athlete.
That changed.
Yes.
Kelly and Matthew Stafford welcome twin girls into their lives. Big change. And Bernie's here with a look into the lives of the new parents and the adjustments that means.
Yeah, as you know, the Lions and Matthew Stafford are back at their off-season workouts. But for Stafford, life got a little more difficult in recent days. Back in April, his wife Kelly gave birth to twin girls. Life will never be the same for the couple. But just like a switch in defensive coverage, her husband is able to make the adjustments almost seamlessly.
I mean, he's a great dad, and it's a lot with twins. We were talking about the other day, like a dad comes home and maybe does one feeding or with one, but when he comes home, there's no break because I'm feeding one, he's feeding one, so it's nonstop with two.
You sit here and you look at like how blessed. I mean, and the walls and I mean the level of blessedness is. Yeah, it's blessed.
It's very, very blessed. And I know, I have friends who have struggled getting pregnant and stuff like that, and you just realize that you have two miracles sitting right in front of you. Although sometimes you want to, trade them back in, but most of the time
It's only 6 weeks.
Let me tell you what.
That first report card.
These first 6 weeks are hard.
Oh yeah, there's no question, especially with 2.
I'm just kidding.
Kelly has shared some of the twins' early moments on her social media accounts, where she has quite a following. Her love and care are obvious in these pictures, but she knows that when babies sleep, you let them sleep. Do they sleep in here?
They do.
So do you ever come in like they're sleeping and?
No.
Never?
Not when they're sleeping.
You're out the front door and gone.
Don't want a chance waking them.
The Staffords were trying to get pregnant and couldn't have been more excited when they found out that Kelly was. Do you remember your first reaction when they told you had twins?
Okay, so this is kind of new information, but we actually did IVF, so there was no conception. Yeah, so we actually, and again, we struggled, so we put 2 eggs in, and so we were not surprised that there were twins, but we were surprised that they were identical.
3rd and 15, can he scramble again for a first? Able to get to the mark for the second time in this game.
Being a mother's a tough job, as is being the wife of a professional athlete, especially when that athlete's the starting quarterback of the Lions. Her loyalty is unwavering and has been on display while defending her husband, who's criticized from time to time. But those public battles, well, they've died down a bit. Has that been a conscious effort, or you've lost your phone?
That's well, that's part of it, but that's been a learning curve, I'd say. I learned to choose the battles better. So, no, I just feel like you can't win in that situation with social media. You just have to just know that what's going on, and I don't know. I just chose not to fight the battles anymore.
You got 2 girls now.
Yeah, now I don't have time.
Now, so who's social media?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Now I see an article that might be negative or positive. I'm like, I can't, whatever. I can't read it.
Job 1 for these 2 has always centered around football, and that's how fans identify with them, and it's been that way for over a decade now. These days, Job 1 is low-key, sometimes loud, but more than anything, it's the most important thing to the Staffords.
We're just hoping to raise them half as good as our parents raised us.
Very cool they let you in, to share that part of it.
Yes.
Well, they didn't let us in. I picked the lock and got in, right? Exactly. But I just want to say her honesty is going to help a lot of people. I mean, it was so refreshing, and what a terrific couple. They were real great.
And some cute little girls.
Yeah.
Beautiful family.
Oh, by the way, we're asleep for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we kept waiting.
Like, Bernie's here, let's not wake up.
Never wake a sleeping baby. Here's a look at what Hank Winchester's working on for tomorrow night.
A senior high-rise with what many call a serious problem.
People have those wheelchair, the motorized ones, and on oxygen and everything. This is too much.
Some saying they're trapped inside. Our hidden cameras exposing the issue.
If I knew the things I know about this place, I would have never moved in there.
We're just waiting for the manager. Do you know if it's going to be much longer?
Now Help Me Hank investigates.
You've got a woman who can't get down the elevator and has a medical emergency. That's a big problem.
You'll see what's already being done to help these elderly residents. Our special report tomorrow at 11.
A little cooler out there.
Yeah, just when we thought summer was peeking its nose under the tent.
Taking a little bit of a break and then heating up. next week.
I thought Bernie was going to stay around and heckle me for the forecast, but apparently
He'll be back.
He'll give you some business later, yeah.
We do have some showers out there right now. 4 Live Radar has been tracking an area of rain that has been coming in from the north. Are you just going to stand over there the whole time?
A little creepy.
Yeah, it is, just this much. But we have seen those showers diminish as they've started to push through the city. So I don't think we're going to see anything more as far as precipitation goes tonight. But man, the clouds cleared, and look at that beautiful moon out there. We got this from Rockwood. Hello, somebody home? Beautiful shot out there on storm pins. Appreciate that. And of course, we'd love to see exactly what you have been seeing over the last few days. If you download our Storm Pins app, it's absolutely free. 71, the high temperature today. So we did fall short of average by about 5 degrees. But believe it or not, we still have not hit 90 degrees. And when you look back at the last 5 years, this is about the time we will do it, except for back in 2013 when it took us all the way to July 15th. We do have a 90-degree day in the forecast, and it's coming on Monday. So if we hit it then, it's going to be pretty close to where we have been seeing that first 90 for the last few years. Current temperatures, low 60s to mid and upper 50s primarily. We will hit the 50s for lows tonight, and there's still one more sort of spoke around this low that's going to rotate tomorrow afternoon. Wouldn't be surprised to see a sprinkle around in the afternoon and maybe early evening hours tomorrow, but high pressure eventually settles in. And the rest of the forecast primarily is dry. It looks like we may be getting a shot at a shower storm with this front on Friday, but most of the next 7 days are going to be dry and increasingly warm as well. 54 tonight as the clouds return. We'll keep that wind on the light side. Your 4-zone forecast for high temperatures tomorrow in the metro zone keeps those numbers in the mid-60s. Not quite as warm as what we saw today, but we're probably not going to get those breaks of sun that we got late in the day like what we saw today. Upper 60s down towards the state line. West zone high temperatures tomorrow anywhere between the low and mid-60s, and not much different in our north zone, except for maybe a couple 50s hanging around up there in Sandusky and Lexington. 7-day forecast increasingly warm as we hit the 70s by the end of the work week. 80s come in for the weekend. In fact, we will pretty much match our temperature from this past Sunday, coming Sunday at 87, and then hit 90 degrees on Monday. So with the exception of those thunderstorms on Friday, it is going to be a dry forecast all the way through the start of next week.
I've never heard your green screen knock before. That was disconcerting.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was something behind.
I thought it was coming over.
Me too.
There might have been a sportscaster back there. Well, we hear about the dangers of texting and driving. You don't just hear about it, you see it almost every day. But there's something else that takes our concentration off the road, and we're probably all guilty of that too.
And fast food brawl. A woman jumps the counter inside McDonald's and goes on the attack. The ridiculous reason she got so violent. Next.